Josh the Balloon Guy here. And while I'm sticking with our superhero theme, today I'm going to do a couple of them from the Rogues Gallery. So yesterday I made Bat Dude. Today I'm going to make a couple of his more famous villains. So to start, and this is very adaptable, just like the superhero body. But I'm gonna do basically the same style on both of them. It's just all about the coloring and the art that helps you distinguish. So don't let it seem daunting, but the first character is going to need a purple 260, an orange 260, a green 260, and a white 260. Yes, that is 4 different colors, but on most of them, we're only going to use a little bit. We're going to start with our purple, and we're going to blow it up a little more than halfway. Okay, leaving about 2 hand widths. Go ahead and tie that off. And then I'm going to blow the orange up only about really 2 hand widths total. Then I ended up blowing up about 3. I'm going to go ahead and tie the 2 of those together. Okay. Now, I am going to go down about a hand and a thumb. Okay. So in total, we'll say about 7, 8 finger lengths, and we're going to twist those together. Now, this is based on my favorite version of the character, which was from the 90s animated series. That's the one I grew up on. Okay, and we're going to do a traditional bear body out of that. The front being the only orange, the rest of it being the purple. Okay, and it's very bright colors as opposed to Bat Dude's very dark colors, because this guy, of course, is a laugh, right? So we're going to tear off both of those, and then we're going to go ahead and tie off together. Now, that does give us connection points on both sides. We don't need connection points on both sides, so I'm going to go ahead and take the nozzle sides and I'm going to tuck those inside. I'm going to leave this up here, because after I make the head, then I can hide those a little better. Now, I'm going to use the same white for both characters, basically utilizing my scraps and making sure that I'm using the best of my resources here. But I'm going to start by blowing it up. Again, about 3 hand widths. Okay, go ahead and tie that in to our existing bear body, and I'm going to make a pedal twist. This one's a 3-finger pedal twist, and then I'm going to tear off and tie off. I'll let that deflate right now, and I'll re-inflate it here in just a moment, because you would do the same if you're using a pump. All right. And again, that's why we tie off. All right. There we go. Actually get my knot in place here. Get it tied off. Now I'm going to take the green and with the green, I'm going to actually push it through that pedal twist. And I'm going to figure out about how long I want it to be on one side, making another pedal twist there. So I think that should be a good length. That'll be about a finger and a half pedal twist. And I'm going to go ahead and twist to split. Okay. And I do that so that I can make a pedal twist, another pedal twist, and then I'm going to come back over the top. It looks like a pedal twist, but it's really not. It's actually taking that from this twist into this twist and wrapping it around. Okay. And then we're going to do it one more time across the back, just to give him a kind of full head of crown hair. And then tear off and tie off. Oh, I almost lost it again. All right. Wrap it around, tie it off. There we go. and then tuck in the excess underneath there. Go back to this midsection here. I'm going to tuck in there. Then I'm going to take, again, just to go with this particular version, I'm going to do just a puff inflate on what was left over on that green. Okay. And I'm going to wrap that around the neck, tying it in front. And that makes the kind of almost bolo tie that he had. It's just a fun little accessory there. Okay. Trim off the end of that knot. And then using our black marker and a red marker. For the black marker, I'm going to give him, we haven't done this in a while, but I'm going to do the A-shaped eyes. Give him just a little, C-shaped nose, reverse C. No, regular C. And then I do have my chisel tip here. I'm going to give him a very wide smile. Oh. And then I'm going to add just a little bit on the sides there to give that kind of extended smile. Okay. And he almost looks like the one from the 60s there with that smile. But like I said, I based the color scheme and everything a little more on the one from the animated series because that's the one I grew up on. Now, for our second member of the Rogues Gallery, we're going to use a black and a red, and that more of that white. I want to blow up each of these. That's less than halfway, about the length you'd make a dog out of. If I had it, so measuring 1, 2, yeah, it's about four hand widths. Okay. I want them to be pretty even. And I'm going to go ahead and tie them together. All right. And then I'm going to go down and about the same length as we did on our clown character. Okay. So hand and a thumb. I'm going to twist. I'm going to give it a couple of good twists. And then back up one side with the black. And the other side with the red. And then bring them together. Twist them at the top. Okay. And then I've got the nozzles there. Wrap those in, tie them to help secure. Because I'm not done with the red and black, so I'm not tearing off yet. All right, now I'm going to bring the red over to the black side, the black over to the red side, leaving my red middle in front. I'm going to grab that white. Now, yes, with a pump, it is a little easier to reinflate that. That's okay. Years of stubbornness have got me this far. And I'm going to go ahead and tie that in and do the pedal twist head again. This one maybe not quite as big as this clown. Okay. Go ahead and tear off. Drop that strap in there to be used again. On for eyes or something later. On a different project. Okay. And again, got the black on the red side and the red on the black side. And I'm going to come up over my white. And go ahead and twist off. This makes her Harlequin costume. Okay. And then I'm going to put a pinch twist on each color. Always trying to keep my colors opposite. So, whereas red's on this side, black's on this side, then red again. Red's in the front. The black pinch twist is going to be in the front. Okay. Then we're going to take, and I'm going to do let's do a 3-finger bubble there. And go down another 4 fingers. Break off. Deflate. And then tie off as close to the point where you broke off as possible. Okay. And we're going to do like we do with the butterfly and squeeze. Whoop. Not pop it. That's why I hang on to my scraps. All right, try this one more time here. Tie that in place of what I just popped. Trim it off. All right. And again, don't want it to be quite that long. So I'm going to go ahead and tie it short. Trim off. And then a gentle squeeze is what I was going for. Okay. Do the same on the black balloon here. A 3-finger bubble. 4-finger break off. Tie at the end. And then gentle squeeze to give the Harlequin her gesture tips. Okay. And her marker art is very similar, except when I do the A's, I'm going to bring them down. I'm going to go ahead and do the nose. Okay. And then she's going to get a black smile. Why is my Sharpie acting like it's dried out? Now she's going to get a black smile. And we're going to complete the A's with blue dots. Okay. Now, the other thing that you can do, and this has everything to do with your comfort level on the marker art, but the easiest ones are just diamond shapes. Okay. And just give it a couple of diamonds. Coloring them in to make them solid. And there you have this princely clown of crime and his mistress. All right. Until next time, keep practicing, and I'll see you.